And then let's see, where's my chat? Card stream options. It's still not live, but it's already recording me.
Right,
So
right.
what I was saying a minute ago is what's going to come on here now.
Okay.
When it finally does broadcast. Then we can see if we have audio and stuff.
So I was finding how we could get sound, since
Right.
YouTube doesn't actually have an input that you can put into it. They're not taking it this way yet.
Right.
So you
I
can't
have to
use a board or anything
Well,
else.
I have to use this, or I have to use
Callers
this.
calling in.
Oh,
There
callers
won't
calling
be,
in.
So unless we can make that audible, and it would have to be part of, being
Do
able
we
to pick
want
it
to
up
ask
on
Andy about that? Oh, real quick. Or I can type in. It says the internet can totally see you now, but they can't. I mean, because it's. Well, this might be a slow internet that we have here, so it might not be. 587 dropped frames, 34%. La la la. I have audio here, but I still don't have anything on YouTube. Oh, this sucks.
This is why Mondays are a good time to come in, because you've got the time to, come in an hour before and try out the things.
Here's the chat. Okay.
As you focus on your show, because it's going to start soon. In 5 minutes.
Bad video settings. Use keyframe frequency of 4 sequence. Okay, let me try undo it. Alan, do they have some of those smaller headphones over there?
Yeah, these kind?
Yeah. Thank you. These. Oh, I need the adapter. Is the adapter over there? Oh, my camera's not on. Yes. Okay, hopefully it'll come up on here. Yes. Come on, show me picture. I got 1 minute and 20 seconds. Down to the wire.
Same as TV8 always was. It's just
Right?
I've almost crashed. Almost. Bumping back up.
KPFZ welcomes our new underwriter, Lake County Farmers Finest, supporting our farmers since 1996. Fresh, seasonal fruits and vegetables at your local certified farmers market. And Steel
It's
Wine
not
does it
streaming.
Tuesday and Saturday, 8:30 a.m. till noon from May through October. Live music, handmade arts and crafts, fresh baked goods and coffee, honey and jam, goat cheese, olive oil, and butter. EBT, SNAP card, market match benefits available every Tuesday and Saturday. Their website is www.lakecountyfarmersfinest.org. Thank you, Lake County Farmers Finest, for supporting community radio. KPFZ.
It's streaming.
What are you doing?
It just came on.
Off.
Yay.
Yep.
Answered. And in the meantime, as always, I do have things that I love to talk to you about. And, you know, wow, there is really a lot of things to talk about with natural health and energy in that. And with Halloween coming up this weekend, there's a couple things I want to talk about. We usually do a time change on Sunday night, early Monday morning, this weekend, and so it can be challenging to your sleep schedule, and so you want to. It's helpful to meditate. You can meditate a little bit before you go to bed. You can also melatonin helps, and it's natural, but you can also take a supplement. And some warm tea helps if you're not the type of person that has to get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. You can do some nice tea at the end of your evening and use that to calm. And sometimes you can take a warm bath. So those are some ways that you can help keep your sleep on schedule. And after just a couple weeks of the new schedule, we usually get used to it. And just as we're probably starting to enjoy it a little bit, then we go back to daylight savings time, which is my favorite time. I love the extra of sunlight and the sunshine and all that. It's really nice. So that's really that's something good. So, you know, another thing that's important to bring up around Halloween is all the candy that's around, and so some of us can have a little bit of a challenge when there's so much abundance of candy. It's so easy. It's right within your reach. And one of the things that I wanted to say about the candy, there are a lot of things in candy that are not good for you, and the main one probably being, well, you know, I would want to say sugar's the main one, but it really, you know, nowadays they put so much weird stuff in our food, and candy is just a prime, you know, place to put some of these hidden toxins and health sabotagers, and so, you know, there's all of that, but then, you know, there is sugar. And sugar, you know, I really wanted to bring this up because a good friend of mine found out that she has cancer, and she's had cancer. She's been dealing with it off and on for a while. And so she contacted me to talk a little bit about holistic health and just to find out what are you know, from this perspective here, and to get an idea of some of the things that she could look into. And so the first thing I told her was, you know, sugar feeds cancer. That's like the food that that's the food that cancer eats is sugar. And getting, you know, proper sunlight, proper rest, and meditating, you know, especially if you have stressful situations in your life, and all of these things contribute to the health of your body, which keeps your immune system strong, which is like your first line of defense when you're harboring any kind of germs or infections that can turn into diseases. So there's my little speech about sugar, and it can be really difficult, to quit sugar. I know people have such a hard time with this. It's addictive. It's just like any other addiction, and it can be really challenging to quit. I've quit sugar myself in my life to the point where every once in a while I can have a little bit of sugar. I notice right away it makes me not feel too good. So nowadays it's easier for me to avoid sugar, much more so than it was when I first wanted to quit. And so it can be challenging, and I want to encourage you to reduce or eliminate sugar from your diet for the purpose of your good health, and to seek support in doing that, and to not give up. So if you are trying and you kind of fall off the wagon, well, that's okay, because that happens. And when you're working on your health, it's a lifelong process, and nobody's perfect 100% of the time. And there are those people out there that are perfect close to 100% of the time, but they're not your normal people. And so I encourage you, if you do kind of fall off the wagon, to get back on the wagon. Just restart and recommit to yourself, and remember why you're doing what you're doing, because it is really important and very, very helpful. It's just one of the biggest things you can do in laying a foundation to keep yourself healthy for the long haul. And like I said, it is a process. So even if you don't nail it right away, and you're not the perfect sugar-free person right away, you can make these small shifts over time, where maybe you cut out some big sugar items like soda, and things that have added corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup and things like that. You can do those things little by little, and the more time you have under your belt without these items in your diet, the more you get used to it, and the less you crave it, and the more strange and uncomfortable it feels when you eat it or drink it. And so it can be helpful, but it is a process. It takes small shifts, and that's what quantum energy shift is all about, is doing small shifts over time that lead to a big kind of leap in your good health, consciousness, and things like that. So for Halloween, we are looking at a lot of sugar. Even if you're not of a trick-or-treating age and you don't put your hand in the sack from the kids when they're done trick-or-treating, you might have a big giant bowl of all kind of sweet treats at your house to hand out to kids, and it's kind of tempting. If you do have a sugar addiction, especially, it can be kind of tempting to to try things out and to snack a little here and there, especially if you get hungry. You put off your meal or a healthy snack, then you can just grab some kind of junk food or candy, and it's everywhere right now. So one of the things that my kids give me a hard time about, and they do, and some of their friends do, is that I like to hand out things around the holidays, especially these candy-giving holidays, and these are like things I would put in a piñata, things that I would put in the Easter basket, and things that I hand out to my very surprised neighbors if they dare come to my door at Halloween. I like to give out things like like nuts, pistachios, and almonds, walnuts, and things like that. I like to give out popcorn, and I love to give toothbrushes and dental floss, which is, my kids just really give me a hard time about that. They're like, this is not what this is about. Well, to me, it is what it's about, because that's really an important aspect of having all this candy for your kids, is, keeping their teeth in good health, because all this candy is stuck in their teeth and stuck in between their teeth, and so they need to brush their teeth more than normal, and floss more than normal to keep their mouth clean. You can also rinse out your mouth, which is highly recommended, and keep your teeth clean. So those are some things I like to put in place of candy. And you can also do little toys, which can be pretty popular. You can do raisins and some fruits, things like that. There's also small candies that are made with xylitol, which is a natural sweetener, which is preferable, very, very preferable to sugar. And you can get stuff like that at the health food store. So right there are a lot of options. I sometimes like to give out a little bit of information, and just pop that in their bag, or if it's a piñata. Those things don't go over so great at a birthday party, the information part, but if you make it like literally nice. But, the sugar stuff is always really popular, and I want to be that person who isn't giving out the sugar and really not apologizing for it, and really giving out healthy things that say, I love you and I care about you, and I want you to be healthy and I want you to be well. And this is one way that you can kind of transition from these habits that we have that fill us up with sugar and toxins. And, this is a way that you can start to shift out of that, because holidays will go by. Many holidays have gone by for me without sugar, and it's really, really good for your health. So those are, the couple of things that I wanted to say about Halloween, and since it's just right around the corner. There's so many fun things that you can do, and you can still take good care of yourself. Make sure to drink lots of water, and if you do decide to eat sugar or any kind of treats, you want to make sure that you have the opportunity for your body to kind of wash all of that out and flush that out. So there's some simple detox things that you can do, and we talked about some of this last week. You can start your mornings with some warm water. Regular temperature water works as well, but you add lemon to that, drink that throughout the day. And then there are some more, there are other things also that you can do on a regular basis to keep your body clean, keep the pathways clean, because your body's going to want to get rid of the toxins that are in the candies and the junk food, the other kinds of junk food that are offered up, and also the sugar. So you definitely want to do that. The other thing that you want to be aware of with sugar and junk food in general, when kids are having it, is it causes all kinds of health problems with kids. So we're seeing so many escalating health problems with our children, diabetes, obesity, ADHD, and so a lot of these can be corrected with the diet. And if you're allowing kids in your life to enjoy some of these treats, or what I just call nutritionless food, be ready for how it's going to affect them. And so if they're impatient, or they're grumpy, or they're not listening, or they're testing you out, or whatever, all of these things can be a result of not getting the right nutrition, or getting too much of the toxins and sugar especially. And so you want to be real patient with kids. You want to distract them, and reason with them, or negotiate with them, and think of ways that you can get through the effects of these overloads of toxic foods on the kids, because they need our support, and they don't really know what's happening to them. They don't understand why they're throwing a wild fit at nap time, or at bedtime, or at lunchtime, or not able to motivate in the morning, and stay on your schedule, why they're talking back, or not listening, or just all of these kind of behavioral things that happen with kids. They really don't understand why, and it really isn't necessarily, that they're being defiant or something like that. It really does have a lot to do with nutrition, and if you're not eliminating or drastically reducing those kind of junk foods and stuff, then you want to be sure that you're adding in a lot of nutrition. And so you can do the probiotic foods that I talk about a lot of times. There's half sour pickles, which are made with sea salt that naturally ferments. A lot of kids really love pickles. There's fermented drinks that you can do. There's a water kefir soda that kids seem to really like. You can make a homemade ginger ale that's full of probiotics. And there are other things and ways to get good probiotics into your kids so that as the sugar goes into your digestive system and it starts really wrecking the digestive system and the microbiome in your digestive system, the communities of of good bacteria that are in there, and doing damage to your digestive lining and all of that. I agree with you actually, and I'm not an advocate of doing all the right things. In fact, I'm one of the first people that'll tell you, first of all, I'm not the food police. Second of all, you're going to make mistakes. Nobody's going to do it perfect. I just said that right before you called. I'm not sure if you heard me or not, but yeah. I mean, I talked about pretty much what you're saying right now. I just talked about over the air and how it's a lifelong process. Having balance in your body is a process, and it's not something that you're going to come out the gate and you're going to nail it right away and be 100% and be perfect. And the people that are close to perfect are very rare. And this is what I just said, just a few minutes ago here, and that that if you give something a try because it doesn't feel good, or you have an intuition that's telling you this isn't good for you, so you want to try to make some changes, you might not nail it right away. You might fall off the wagon and have to hop back on, and really just make small changes over time, because you'll look back and say, wow, I remember when I used to, for me personally, I remember when I used to drink soda. I remember when I used to eat the candy out of the bowl at Halloween. I did all that stuff. Now, if I have those kind of things, I don't feel good. And I can tell right away that it knocks me back. And so I don't really, thankfully, because I did take, and I'm talking about, at least a decade of slow movement from, just the sad, standard American diet and having a candy bar if I wanted it and drinking colas and all of this stuff, to nowadays I prefer other things. And that's my own personal journey where I took time and made the effort just for myself because I wanted to feel good and I want to be well, and made those efforts over time. It's definitely not something where you're going to get a big huge list of don'ts. What I rather do is give people a list of do's, because if you do the do's what happens is you have less space and less desire and less room in your life for the don'ts, and so they can naturally fall away. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right. It is. And you know what? That's right. It's more powerful than anything else. If you have that belief, that intent in place. And also, there was a study done. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm just going to paraphrase the heck out of it, about a community that had moved from another country and lived in the States, and they were having less heart disease, and that's where the study started. They were trying to find out why they were having less heart disease, but then they noticed they were having less of all diseases that people in the neighboring communities weren't having. And they were eating greasy foods, they were having pizza, they drink wine all the time, all this stuff. And the one thing that was different there, it wasn't hereditary, also because they followed people who had moved out of that the other country community into other places, and what they had going on in their community is they were all really super tight knit. They lived in multi-family homes with the grandparents, the parents, the kids, the grandkids. They would always be stopping by with each other and having some wine. And, if anybody needed anything, the whole community would get together and help take care of that person. And that is, I feel like energetically, because we're talking about like an energy here, a feeling like I feel safe, I feel loved, I feel like I'm okay and I'm not afraid, like kind of the stuff we're talking about was really the underlying benefit that all of these people had that resulted in just their really, really good health compared to other folks who were pretty much doing the same things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree, absolutely. And so, for me here, I have an hour a week where I come on and I talk to people about, I want people to be aware of stuff. I want them to be aware that sugar feeds your cancer, and I want them to be aware, that good sleep helps your energy and your nutrition digest better, and just all these little tidbits and factoids and stuff that I can offer, because I feel like somebody has to tell people. When I found out about my friend that had cancer that I talked about earlier on the show today, and she was angry because her doctors had never told her that sugar feeds cancer, and her whole diet was, out of a box, a bag, a can, and all this extra sugar and fast foods and stuff. She didn't have any idea, and so I do like to let people know that, we're not perfect. We're works in progress. People like me are here to offer support. You can email or call into the show or whatever. And I'm always willing to just as a community service to help people out, because I really want people to know what's up. And that's kind of like the first piece, because sometimes you can get information, you don't act on it right away, and but it's in there, and so it takes a while to process it. And like I said, it's a journey. Mm-hmm. But well, you know what? Right at mine, I'll tell you something right now. At my nutrition school, veganism is not for everyone. And that can be a problem. And so people think, oh, well, if I just become a vegan, then my life's going to be perfect. But that's not true. And that's not true nutritionally for everyone. It is true for. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's really great. But maybe she needs. But see, she could be not necessarily, because if they were, then they probably wouldn't have got sick. So they could have a stressor we don't know about. They could have a sleep problem. They could have a. Right, and that brings us. Right. And that brings us back to the energy of fear, which right there knocks down your system, and people aren't thinking about that. So there's all these kind of things, and it's a whole picture. That's why it's called holistic healing and holistic medicine, is because it's a whole picture. It's not just, let me give you this list of all these things you can't do and then you're going to be perfect, because it's just not possible that way. It's not realistic, you know. I really appreciate your call. You have some good stuff to talk about. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, right. Well, but you have the answers for you, and that's the beautiful thing. Well, maybe a little bit more meditation, a little bit more introspection, and you will have the answers because all the answers are inside of you, and your body is designed to know how to take care of itself by itself, and that is real, and that's possible. And if you can, it's really awesome to get partners in your health who are people who are team members. They're not like, this is something else that's really heavy on my mind lately is that people get sick and they look for a doctor to go fix them, or a pill that they're going to take, or a supplement, or a diet, or a routine, whatever it is, and they're looking outside of themselves all the time, and they're mad. They're like, it's like when your car breaks down, you take the mechanic, they don't fix it, you get mad. Well, if your body breaks down, you go to the doctor, he doesn't fix it, it makes them mad. But the thing is you're in charge of your health. You're the coordinator of the whole team, and however many people are on it, that are the partnerships that you have, who are the people who are working with your health. So if you have a doctor that tells you, I know your body better than you do, or has some kind of a power trip, or whatever it is, you really want the kind of people working with you who are your partners, because it is at the college that I go to, the medical school that I go to is called Quantum University, and so quantum physics is like a foundation of the way that we're taught holistic and alternative medicine, and they teach us that the practitioner is in partnership with the patient or the client, and that it's an entanglement, so that you have to believe in the person, you have to know that they have that healing inside of them, and help them unlock it, help them, figure it out, what it is that's inside of me making me, and people know what it is, like those super healthy friends that you have, and I have some of them too, but they have their little stuff, they do have their little stuff, and maybe it's come all the way back from their childhood, or maybe maybe their job is making them ill, or they're in a poor relationship, or they're worried about their mom or their sister, or there's all kinds of things that can kind of throw us out of whack energetically. And it's just like you said, it really comes down to your energy, to your beliefs, what you believe is possible for you, and what you believe in. Yeah, she was one of the lecturers at my nutrition school, and also at my medical school. Actually, she just spoke at the World Integrative. I forget what it's called. Integrative Medicine World. I forget. But yeah, I have seen her speak before, and pretty much all of the lecturers and all of the teachers that I've learned from, and the things that I've figured out intuitively on my own are completely in alignment with all of that stuff, and that's pretty much why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's similar to what she's doing, is trying to get the message out there. So sometimes it does sound like I'm the food police, and like, oh, don't let Laureen see you, eating at Jack in the Box, but it's not. It's okay. I love you that you're eating at Jack in the Box, because when you are ready to feel better, then I want to help you understand how to do that less, if that's, something that's going to help you. So, I'm not, yeah. That's what I say. Yeah. No, this is what I say. Yeah, that's true. And you have to have that. Yeah. Well, it kind of attracts you to those things that you put in your body. So, when your vibration is in that lower state, you have these thoughts that contribute to that and bring you more of that, like the whole law of attraction thing. And then you also have the things in your environment that, you get the cravings, and you get the things, and you kind of do these self-sabotages, and see, I knew it, and and so it really is just a process, and a big part of it is kind of waking up energetically and realizing that we are a fully vibration. In quantum physics, everything is in vibration, and so that includes us, you know. Well, I expect under people to understand that, and it's my own energy that's bringing you to me right now and saying this, because this is one of the kind of doubts that I have. This is one of the kind of lower energy things that goes on with me, is I say, but I'm just, well, no, but I am saying I get like a self-doubt or whatever. I'm just saying that this is one of the things that happens to me, is I worry that I'm going to explain things to people and they're not going to understand. But you know what? I'm going to explain things to people, and if it's not in their conscience and it's not making them move forward in a positive direction, it is there in their subconscious, and when they're ready, it'll occur to them, or maybe they'll hear it for the third or fourth time and be like, wow, I kind of know this, you know, because maybe they don't remember where they heard it, but yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure that it does work that way, and so I don't worry too much about it, because it doesn't my least favorite subject. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's marketing. Right, right, or the seventh time I've heard. That's marketing, yeah. Absolutely. And that's what I'm doing. And I do say the same message over and over. You know, it depends, you know, I talk about a lot of stuff, but I do hit on the same things from time to time, because because I care. You know, I really want to help people, and I want to do it in a gentle way that doesn't make people feel bad or doesn't scare them, like what you're saying, and that's pretty much what I'm all about. Yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, no, I don't, not taking stuff personal. I've heard, you know. Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, and I really appreciate your call. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for listening. Bye. Aloha, you're on the air with Laureen. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Mhm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So do you eat processed grains? Like noodles and crackers, tortillas and bread and bagels and uh-huh. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. I don't think so. Fermenting happens kind of when you let stuff sit and fester, right? So when you're cooking it, you're kind of killing that, right? Yeah. And so for you, you know, you for people who are having, especially with celiac and digestive kind of rawness and that sort of thing, you need to heal your digestive system. You need to, so one thing that people do sometimes is they go over the deep end and they start doing raw foods and all this stuff. And so when your digestive system is raw like that, it has a hard time digesting raw foods, and so you kind of need to steam or stir fry on a really low heat your food for a few minutes to help like kind of pre-digest it. You could do rice cooker, but I wouldn't cook the heck out of it because your veggies, you really just want to cook them on a very low heat for a very short amount of time because you're getting all those nutrients that are going to help heal. There's aloe that you can use, slippery elm. There are ways to rebuild your digestion. KPFZ. Hi, Andy. The monitor wasn't playing either, so I don't know what's up with that, but it is still playing. Hold on, let me double check. It is still playing in the headphones. Can you check out there, Alan, and see if it's on the radio? Hold on, someone's calling the other line, Andy. KPFZ? Yeah, I'm talking to the station manager right now. Thank you. Okay. They said it wasn't streaming too. Yeah, but the monitor hasn't been on the whole time, and we're...
Nothing on the phone, nothing on the radio out there.
Oh, I know. I heard it when my show started. It was working, and we were wondering why it wasn't working.
You can't hear it.
Hold on real quick. KPFZ?
KPFZ's coming on the phone.
Yeah, we're working on the problem right now. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. It's in here. You can hear democracy.
But do you look at it? What? You hear it, what, in the headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
It's not
only
up
the
there.
headphones. They can't hear it over the air. Alan, can you look at the CP? Yeah?
Can you hear it?
Over on that side. Which monitor? Okay. Did you unplug some stuff from the board or the monitor, Alan?
No, not that I.
No, he didn't have anything plugged into there. No, the monitor's on, and I can see the audio thing. It's going, and when I listen in the headphones, I can hear it. Okay. Okay. It's okay. I can help. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see you coming online now.
Is it working, Alan? Is it working, Brian?
Okay. Okay.
Right here.
Okay. The LEDs are moving on the stereo one that shows the left and right side, but there's a carrier modulation strip that is not moving, and I don't remember if it usually is or not. They're down at -40. Should I turn it up more? Okay. Okay, it was fine. Okay. It's not that. It does say audio loss. There's a red light on the modulation monitor. It says audio loss, low signal. Low signal and audio loss are both lit up to the red, in the red. Okay. And the signal level, it only has 2 bars.
It's not working out there. We even tried on cues.
Okay.
On
That's
on
normal.
cues.
Okay. Isn't that weird? Yeah, the two on the modulation monitor are bouncing demod metering, but the one above it that says carrier modulation is showing nothing. There's a yellow light that says POS DEV, and then another yellow light that says NEG DEV, positive negative I guess DEV, and then the one that says subpilot is not lit up at all. Uh-huh. Is it underneath the desk? Okay. Mm-hmm. On the right side when I'm oh, it's behind me. Okay, I know. That's okay. Is it the codec? Oh yeah, APT codec. Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you sure it does say connected? Okay, okay. 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 Okay, I found it. Okay. Yep, and it's off. Mhm. To count to 20. Mm-hmm. Nice. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. It's a little dusty down there. Power light is blue and the light that says connected is no longer lit up, but maybe it's just taking a second. Okay, yeah, because I heard some little clickies in there. Oh, the light came back on. Nice. Okay.
It's working.
Yeah, it's back out in there.
Okay.
What was wrong?
That thing needed to be rebooted.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. You told me about this almost a year ago when I was first in here, and you said, well, if you ever need this, then I'll call in and I'll walk you through it. And so here we are. High five, brother. Okay. Thank you. Bye. The monitor's still not working though.
Alright, Mom, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go into the bathroom.
So what was it needed rebooting?
This APT. He said there's a antenna on the roof
Mm-hmm.
that talks to the tower at Mount Konocti, and if a bird even flies in front of it or anything, it can make the signal drop. Or if the firemen use that channel to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
it can knock us off the air,
Okay.
and so then it has to be rebooted.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a yeah.